180, that's 307-8180, and make your plans to attend the Showcase Under the Stars. Showcase Under the Stars.
All right, thank you, Kelly. 8 minutes before 8 o'clock. Yeah, go to that thing if you are going to be married soon, or you know somebody's going to be married, or maybe just want to have some ideas for future parties, whether they're about weddings or not. This sounds like a fun event. Joe Martone is going to be there. Is Joe being a disc jockey there? Is he performing?
No, he's just going to be walking around.
Broadcasting?
No, introducing himself in WOCA to all the vendors that are there.
Okay.
He will not be broadcasting. He's going to be a participant / PR person as he walks around. Yeah, the area. And brides, bring your grooms, because that's what the two ladies stressed when we had them in as guests the other day. Bring the grooms too, not just the bridesmaids.
Well, they have some games. Is the way they were trying to attract the men, right?
Yeah, fun things.
All right, Galen is on the phone. He was a groom some years ago, and he's out there somewhere. I don't know if it's raining where he is yet or not. Good morning, Galen.
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Pretty good. Where are you right now?
Comfortably in the tree, though.
Good. See, we kind of did our piece at the normal time we should be doing it. So
yeah.
We should be on track right now. So how's the blood supply right now?
We're okay. I guess we're not quite as good as the Carnival Cruise Line. But we're doing well. We have a good, safe 4-day blood supply, but we are running really short on O negative, so we're actually back ordered to our hospitals. What that means is we don't have enough supply to keep it fully stocked with O negative. So if you're an O negative, please get blood today.
Okay. Is your phone different today? You sound a little bit distant.
Well, I don't have my headset, so I'm going to try something else.
Oh, okay.
Is that better? Is that better?
Oh, that's much better, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah. Now, I wanted to. We do have a fun topic today, but there is something associated with that Carnival Cruise Line story that I wanted to ask you about. So, just in a nutshell, for those who didn't hear the story, there was a lady, 70-something-year-old lady, I think 77, on the Carnival Cruise Line. She and her husband have been married 33 years. They've been on the cruise line 27 times. She apparently had a bleeding ulcer. And the doctor on the board, I'm guessing, the medical person, figured out that they needed blood like right now.
Yeah.
So they put out a call, and 100-something people answered the call. They only really needed 3 people. The husband qualified. They needed to be positive. And then 2 other ladies that were passengers, and all the rest were just said, okay, well, thank you for coming. We don't really need you. So they got the blood from those 3. The captain sped up the boat. They went to the Grand Cayman. Long story short, she was then airlifted to South Florida, Broward, I think. And she's doing okay. But here's my question. They actually used, apparently, 3 units of blood, 1 from her husband and 2 from people they don't know. And they used them, like, right away. So I guess the main question I have is, was that risky, Galen? I mean, isn't it possible that those ladies could have had HIV or something else?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you got to remember, this was an emergency situation.
Right.
I'm sure they had rudimentary testing supplies at best. And so what they probably did is they picked someone who they could prove that they were the right blood type, and then what they transfused. And again, I haven't read anything, but I'm sure it'll come out. They probably just transfused the entire whole blood unit, which is why it took so long. So you heard on there that it took 2 hours.
Right.
And so she was bleeding out. So her options were, this is the only thing that's going to save her life is by doing this emergency blood transfusion, or she's going to die. So those were the 2 options. So the doctor on board decided that it was well worth the risk, and the rest is kind of history, and I hope that she turns out to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing story, really.
It is.
And the guy was...
It is, isn't it? I think it just shows that people really do care. So they had 150 people volunteer. There were probably, 3,000 people on that ship. So...
Wow. Yeah, that's really amazing.
See, I don't even know. Is that right? That's how many people are on those ships? So 150.
That.
So that's what's the percentage there? 10% would be 300, right?
They may have called, hey, we only people
maybe.
who are B positive. They may have only called a certain blood type, and you got to remember, the people who are on this ship are out drinking.
Right.
You know, and I mean, they're on a cruise. I mean, so,
Yeah.
you know, you had to get somebody with no alcohol in their system, who was the right blood type, who had donated blood before, all of those things. So,
Well, that never occurred to me that blood might be necessary on a cruise ship, and that the doctors that are staffing that and the nurses have to have some kind of equipment then to be able to do that in an emergency. That really, you know, was mind-opening to me.
yeah, they don't have a blood supply per se, but, you know, all doctors and all registered nurses know how to do a blood transfusion. That's part of their training.
Wow. The kind of a little bit more to the story. It's not the rest of the story really, but she received 2 more units down in Grand Cayman, and then I think by the time she got to Broward Hospital, whatever it is, she got 3. She had 3 more.
Wow.
So she was really.
And that sounds right for a bleeding ulcer, as bad as that one was. If you picture it, you know, the ulcer, it's in the stomach lining, and so it just comes out in almost every orifice. And so,
Oh my God.
you can't staunch that blood, that bleeding until you go in and you have that surgery. So the only thing to stabilize her, to keep her heart pumping and to keep her alive, is to pump more blood into it. So, yeah, that's kind of what happened.
All right. Well, that's why I knew we could count on you to kind of give us the inside, the science part of that, and because it was an interesting story, but I felt like I didn't know enough. You know, and so yeah, you're right. If there's an emergency need, I guess you're going to say, you know what? Do you think you have HIV? No. Okay, you're on.
Right.
You're in.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, HIV isn't the biggest threat to the blood supply, and it hasn't been for a very, very long time. HIV is, you know, less than, 1% of the population in the country has HIV?
Well, maybe I picked the wrong one, but I mean, anything. I mean, you.
No, but you're right. I understand. But when we think about, and the reason I picked on that one is because when we think about blood transfusion, that's what comes to mind, right? That's the one that people are most concerned about.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
but again, I just wanted to point out how rare that is to you know, have HIV or anything else. So.
Interesting. I wonder if the 2 ladies who stepped up to the plate, I mean, they all stepped up to the plate, but the 2 that they actually used, I'm guessing, I don't have any way of knowing this, though, that they had given blood before, so it was not a big decision for them. They had already gone through the process of donating blood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounded like one of them was a cruise line worker, and then the other one was a passenger, but I would probably say that I would make the assumption that they were both previous or blood donors in the past. They would have to be in order to do that. If I was a doctor, that's who I would go after. I'm like, okay, have you given blood before? Have you given in the last 6 months? Then you're relatively sure that everything's okay.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was her husband, a crewman, and 2 women. So there was 4 units actually.
Wow.
Okay.
So when they extracted the unit, did they extract it and put it into the lady right away, or did they put it in the bag and then the bag goes to the lady?
You know, I don't know. I don't know what kind of equipment they have on board. They may have been able to do some rudimentary test. They had to make sure that they were the right blood type.
Right.
But I really don't know. I don't know what they could have gone from human to human, but that's pretty rare. I mean, if they did do human to human transfusion like that, well, more information will come out, and I'll read about it and I'll let you know.
I wonder if, as soon as it went in, it was coming out already, because they didn't obviously have the surgery yet at that point.
Oh yeah.
Not quite that fast, but
Wow.
Just think. So she got 4 units on board the ship. She got 2 in the Cayman.
Right.
And then she got how many more in?
3.
3 more in.
3 in South Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's 9 units. So the average human body holds, 6 to 7
Wow.
units of blood. So yeah, that blood probably almost came out of her.
Wow.
But again, I mean, and when you read the story, the first thing that popped in my mind is, what kind of T-shirt do you get if you give blood on a cruise line?
Somebody's coming up with a good one for next trip.
That was a joke, but I mean, that would be pretty cool. I mean, I wonder if they photographed that. I wonder after they donated, they got to meet with the captain.
Yeah. Well, they literally saved a life right there in front of their own eyes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. What if they got like a free, free drink?
Well,
something, I don't know.
Yeah, and we say this every day when you're on the air, that go donate blood, save 3 lives. We say it, but when you say it so much, it almost becomes taken for granted, and you don't realize the impact of that statement and how true it really is.
Exactly.
These people got to see it right for themselves. They got to see the lady whose life they saved.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm sure they're. It's not like they have a. I know they can do some things, but I just don't know what kind of facilities they have. But it's pretty amazing. It's
all right. By the way, this is WOCA Ocala.
The source.
Thank you, Galen. And so we're switching topics right now. You've been keeping us up to date on the unskilled Chicago parker.
Yeah, well, I'm not close yet. I'll be another
over at Life South. Yes. Well, I looked up the parking, the driving rules in Chicago, and parallel parking is the only one that has a time limit. You have to, in the city of Chicago, you have to be parallel parked within 2 minutes and within 3 tries. If a police officer sees you trying for a 4th time, he's going to say, "Get on your way."
I'm surprised it's 3.
Yeah, right? I was too.
If you're in a city, you get 2 shots at it, right? Your first time you can go in a little deep or a little shallow, right? But your second time, you better nail it or just move on.
Right. So that led to a bigger topic for us, and I think you'll have fun with this one. So you can tell him when you see him, the city you're from. You have to be. I know he's not parallel parking over there, but you have to parallel park in 2 minutes. You can't even park in a regular parking spot.
I'm not going there.
You're not going there.
No. 7 minutes.
At some point he's going to find out. That
2 minutes and 3 tries. The policeman will probably say, "Get on your way." I mean, maybe you can get a ticket. I don't know.
He does drive just for reference. It's a Ford Fiesta.
Oh, now you're identifying him.
That's how small the car is.
It's a small car.
I don't want people to think that he's driving a 1958 Cadillac, right?
All right.
He could fit a small village.
All right, so let me tell you how this subject came around. So I saw this story on Chicago, it wasn't a story. It was the Chicago. The Illinois driver's manual, whatever it was. Okay, and actually Chicago was named specifically, so maybe the city of Chicago has a different rule than Decatur or Rantoul or something. I don't know, Champaign. All right, so anyway, I said, I wonder what it is in New York, and I could not find one for New York. But I did find that in New York, they recently last year, they took down the signs that said a $350 fine for blowing your horn. Now, Robin, you might remember that sign.
Yeah,
$350 fine for blowing your horn. And I remember thinking, does anybody enforce this law? Because everybody's blowing their horn.
That's right.
So there is a law in New York. It's against the law to blow your horn. And I guess there's some rules for this. But I couldn't find...
Your name is Michael.
Whose name?
Isn't Michael allowed to blow his horn?
That's right.
No, that's Rose Boat.
Michael.
I'm sorry. That was a reach.
Okay. Michael blow your horn, Michael row your boat. Well, anyway, so now they took down the signs that say a $350 fine. So that law may have been undone. I don't know. But I have some other weird laws from around the country.
Okay.
Are you ready for these?
Yep.
And by the way, there are some that make their way on the internet that are false. Mm-hmm. And so I got this from ABC News. Because ABC News has...
always right.
Well, here's why. Because ABC News has a story this morning that... Was it Grand Rapids, Robin?
Yes.
Grand Rapids, Michigan has recently changed their law about being annoying.
Yeah, that was funny.
Well, it used to be that it was illegal to be annoying in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now,
I don't live there. Now
they've changed the rules so you can be annoying. Mm-hmm. And we'll have it later on in News Bites. We'll have that.
That's good. That's important. That's
you have
to have somebody be annoying.
So
that's a given.
So anyway, all these stories are fresh off of ABC News from this morning, and they specifically said, look, we looked into these. We made sure they weren't just rumors. These are all real laws that are no longer. That they are still there. Okay.
Yeah.
In Alabama, it's illegal to wrestle a bear.
Oh.
The penalty for breaking code 13A, 2 years in prison and a $30,000 fine.
2 years in prison for wrestling a bear.
Can you imagine that?
Well, that used to be the big thing at shopping centers when they first started popping up. They did like little sideshows, and one was they had a bear in a cage, and then a fellow went in there and they wrestled. So I can understand.
All right. So here's one. You said a little sideshow. In New York, it is illegal to put on a puppet show from your window.
All right, but
Yeah.
because okay, it has to be okay from your doorstep, or they couldn't film Sesame Street.
That's right. Exactly.
And what about Bert and Ernie?
That's funny.
Right? That's what they do. They talk from their window all the time.
Yeah, they do. They do.
All right. That's what John Kerry should have talked about. PBS. He should have changed that law.
There you go.
There you go. So here's what it says. It says performance of puppet or other figures, ballet or other dancing, comedy, farce, show with moving figures, play or other entertainment in free public view could be fined $25 or spend 30 days in prison, or both.
Well, they don't want people to be distracted as they're driving down the road or walking on the sidewalk. They might hurt themselves. Rubbernecking.
Sunny day.
Right.
Yeah.
What about, out of a garbage can, it's fine. So
That's right. Oscar is safe. He's not going to be arrested.
Oscar's safe. Cookie Monster's safe.
That's right.
The Count is okay. Bert and Ernie are out.
Well,
Yeah, they're done.
And let's look at it this way. If the whole idea is to not have distractions, what's up with the naked cowboy?
Oh, on the bumper pad, on the
In Times
bus
Square.
flaps.
In Times Square.
Times
Oh,
Square.
in Times Square.
Yeah.
The naked cowboy in Times Square.
Yeah, with his
That guy.
BVDs and his cowboy boots and hat and guitar. That's all he has on.
All right. In Kentucky, it is against the law for a pet to molest a car.
Oh,
That's, well,
gee.
that's for their own safety.
Yeah.
You don't want a flat tire.
Yeah.
Now, literally, it says molesting passing vehicles. So I guess that means dogs chasing cars or something.
Yeah,
Well, who
that's not
goes to
good.
jail? The dog?
Probably the owner.
Yeah, they throw the
$50
owner in jail.
fine if your dog is caught chasing a car.
That's right.
In Tennessee, it is illegal to take skunks across the city line.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good law.
do the skunks know that, though? I mean, do they stop when they see the city line?
Pepe Le Pew is typically a pretty good law-abiding skunk.
Yeah,
Well, I
he
think
is.
the skunk can bring himself across the line. It's that you can't bring the skunk across the line.
okay.
30 days in jail if you break this one.
Well, apparently there's a lot of traffic in skunk.
Exactly. There's got to be.
Clamp down on.
In South Carolina, it is illegal to catch a fish with a yo-yo.
Oh,
But,
Gee.
all right. Maybe the skunks I can understand because they don't want people bringing them into the cities. But why is it illegal to catch a fish with a yo-yo? What started that? Like a yo-yo is a great fish attraction.
because that's like fly fishing, only on a different level. So I wonder if they ban fly
guess.
fishing too.
Now
I
here's
don't think it's possible to operate a yo-yo in the water.
Yeah, once
all right.
it hits, it's
So
done.
let me clarify something. The law has since been repealed and reworded, but remains a good example of how some laws can be misinterpreted. Apparently, the word yo-yo doesn't mean what we're thinking.
Oh,
It's a device which sets hooks and is attached and activated by a spring-like device. I guess fishermen would know what that is, but it does say yo-yo in the law.
okay.
So if you were just looking at the law, saying it's against the law to fish with a yo-yo.
Yeah, no more rocking the cradle, let me tell you.
All right, in Florida.
It's the dog.
In Florida, it is against the law to have a pet elephant.
In Florida?
Yeah.
Well, Williston,
Good.
that lady's
It's a
in
good
trouble
law.
then.
Right, that's a good law. I'm going to agree with that. You don't want a raging neighbor to get really mad at you. You go, fine, my elephant just got out. You don't want to have to deal with that.
It is also against
Or
the law.
poop on the
now,
lawn.
now, apparently, you can have an elephant with a permit. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But a lizard over 8 feet long is also illegal in Florida.
Oh,
A lizard over 8 feet long. That's a dinosaur.
I would think so.
Or you cannot own any type of ape in Florida.
Oh, gee. Well, people break that rule too. Gosh.
They do? I don't have an ape.
Yeah, there are people that have monkeys for pets, and That's the bad
Yeah, I
thing.
guess it's.
Is that the same thing?
Depends on if it's a monkey or an ape.
Yeah. What
Oh,
is it?
there you go. Maybe
All right.
there's
In
a
Arkansas,
clarifying.
it is against the law to blow your horn outside of a sandwich shop at nighttime.
Yeah, absolutely. you know, like, people can go crazy with the mustard. It could end up in your eye. Be respectful.
In Tennessee, in order to run for public office, you must believe in God.
There you go.
Yeah,
And that's a law.
that's a law.
I didn't think you could. I'm surprised that law is the test of, we shall pass no law about
Yeah.
religion or something.
In West Virginia, it's illegal to taunt someone for not accepting a challenge to be in a duel with him or her.
Oh.
If you challenge somebody to a duel and they decline, it's against the law to taunt them.
Oh, you can't rub it in their face, you big chicken.
You can't say that.
That's right.
Right.
Come on, fella. Just pull that trigger.
You could
Whip
be
out your pistol.
Fine $100 for calling him a chicken. That doesn't say whether the duel is against the law. Now, going back to Tennessee with that needing to believe in God to run for office, it says, this is what it says, and it kind of attaches itself to the West Virginia law about taunting someone for not accepting a challenge to be in a duel.
You could start the clock on the Parker today.
Okay, he's ready to park?
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
got it.
All right, it's 14 after. Here we go. No, this is what it says in the Tennessee law. No person who denies the being of God shall hold any office in the civil department of this state. Section 3 says any person who shall, after the adoption of this Constitution, fight a duel shall be deprived of the right to hold any office also.
Oh, my gosh.
So you can't have been in a duel and you have to believe in God.
Yeah, I believe that. There you go. The dual part.
All right.
A lot of Christmas gifts
awesome.
this year.
That is awesome.
And the last one is in Alabama, no card games on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, that's just common decency.
Exactly. Especially if you're retired in your garage, they'll come
Sunday
get
really
you.
doesn't start, though, until about 9 o'clock in the morning. So if you have a late one that goes through Saturday night, you're fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyone who engages in gaming or card playing on a Sunday shall be fined not less than $10, nor more than $100.
There you go.
May also be imprisoned in county jail or sentenced to hard labor for the county.
That's what happened to Luke. Houlihan Luke.
Well, that's what happened down in Tampa a few years ago. There were these retirees. They were playing in the garage. Somebody called the police or something. The police came and broke up their card game and arrested them. It's like, oh, come on. It's Sunday. It's in your garage. You're not hurting anybody. It was just so ridiculous.
All right, now, he's been parking for a minute and a half, and in Chicago, he'd have another 30 seconds to get that thing parallel parked. Is he?
He's not going to make that. I can tell you that.
He's still trying?
He, the first attempt wasn't very good, and then the second one he he got out, he checked, and I couldn't see where the other tires were, but he had way
All right,
too much
3,
tide on the
2,
driver's side.
1. All right, 2 minutes so far. 2
Yeah.
minutes.
He's just getting back in his car to
Oh, man.
start over.
You better tell him in Chicago, you're done. You couldn't even. You're parallel.
doing it,
You have
Larry.
to find another spot.
No, to
doing it.
Galen will be hated by this fella then. So he'll say, why are you watching me park?
That doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother him being hated. By the way, while we're waiting for this guy to park, did you know, Galen, being a Native American yourself, that Native Americans are excused from the Affordable Health Care Act?
Okay. Here, I've heard that. Somebody actually came up and told me that.
Oh,
Well, I just read
The
it.
issue is that you have to be living in a on a reservation.
So
really?
So make a reservation at the restaurant and declare, hey,
Hey,
here I am.
yeah.
All right.
That's because they're covered under Medicaid and Medicare.
Oh, okay.
So how long has it
makes
been there
sense.
so far? 3 minutes and 5 seconds?
Yeah, he's checking again. He pulled up and back 2 or 3 times and did those little shirt bursts because he wasn't sure which way to turn the wheel. But I think he's closer. He's closer. Let's see if he gets out of the car again. It's raining too. It's raining.
It is. It's raining here as well.
Yeah, it is too.
Yeah.
Well, he had 7 minutes yesterday, so let's see if he breaks his record.
So how many tries? Now you can have 3 tries in 2 minutes in Chicago for parallel parking. How many tries has he done?
This will be his third because he's pulling forward again.
Oh.
I think he's obsessive compulsive. You got to tell him that.
Well, but the thing is now he's turning. Last time he turned and went out to the right. Now he's turned out and went to the left, and that's going to put him in the complete wrong direction. But we'll see.
What would your reaction be if you rolled down your window and you heard he was listening to this station right now?
Well, that's not possible. Can't get the station in a parking lot. But I would laugh hysterically, and at least then he would have an excuse. He goes, Galen, I'm laughing so hard I can't park.
Oh, yeah.
That would change the relationship.
All right.
Well, he's doing it to help the show.
We'll move on, and then we'll find out if he's done by the time we're done. Rob, we need a segue from weird laws to donating blood.
Well, all of the weird.
Over, just so you know, he had to. Now he went back to the right. I think he's closer now. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's too funny. Well, all of the weird laws that are on the books, we haven't heard any yet that pertain to blood, and that's a good thing, because even if donating blood was a weird law and people were against it, everybody would break that law and they would be for it because they love their fellow human beings. So go to Life South Community Blood Centers, become an ambassador, tell your blood giving stories, and encourage others to give.
There you go.
He's parked. I think he's got it. This one. I think he's got this one.
5 minutes and 14 seconds.
He hasn't gotten out of the car yet. So I don't know
okay.
But I think he's. I think he's good right there.
Well, he beat his record from yesterday.
Yeah, maybe he's getting better.
Have you ever asked him if he wants to drive the Bloodmobile?
I talked to him once. There's no way in the world that guy's driving the Bloodmobile.
Because that's got to be hard to park, that thing.
Oh, man, that is a skill. Yeah, that is a definite skill.
Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Bloodmobile today, Larry, we're at 2 different Winn-Dixies. We're the one at Bellevue, and then we're also out on the one on US 27.
Oh, okay.
All right. If you can't get to the Bloodmobile, go next door to the Cascades on Silver Springs Boulevard. You can donate blood at Life South over there. Where would you go in Danelle and Robin?
Right next door to Sweet Bay.
Sweet Bay.
Soon to be something else.
So is he officially done now?
Yeah. I think he's happy with it. He's putting up his sun visor in the rain.
Okay.
Well, we've learned a lot on the Galen segment today, haven't we?
Yes, we have. So 8:20 and 11. So that'll be 6 minutes and 11 seconds, and then it took him from the time he came in to the time he put up his sun visor. He beat his record from yesterday from 7 minutes.
Just imagine. Meanwhile, in Chicago, there's been at least 3 people who parallel parked in that time. All right, Galen, you have a great day.
All right, you guys are the best. Thanks, y'all.
We'll take a little break and be right back.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, Ocala Mac.